This episode of Geek-men and the Masters of the Thunder Nerds is brought to you by our sponsors, Super 7, Nerd Gear Gaming, and the Madness Entertainment Network. All right, so here we are. We have Brandon with us. How's it going, Brandon?
Good. How are you?
Hanging in there, hanging in there. Another day. Oh boy. Okay, let's get into this. I am excited to talk about your comic and what you have going on here.
And I'm excited to be here.
Yeah,
So,
so let's get into it. You want to where do you want to start? I don't even know. Let's start with how did you first get this idea? Like, where did it come about?
yeah. So basically, I've always been into like entertainment and creative, like kind of like projects and just a lot of creative things. And when I was about in high school, is when this Avalon kind of dream came to life before it was even called Avalon.
Mm-hmm.
I am a huge zombie fan, and I always came back to the question when I would watch zombie movies, shows, or whatever it was, like how would I personally survive in the zombie apocalypse, and what would that look like for me and my family? I have two brothers. Avalon is about three brothers, so it's just a mom and a dad, and just your average Joes, and your normal people dealing with everyday problems, if that's work, if that's anxieties, mental health, physical health issues. um like, what does that all truly look like? So the idea kind of sparked then. Had no clue what to do with it because I didn't know anything, period.
Yeah.
I had no guidance or anything like that as a high schooler. Kind of pocket the idea, and several years later I meet Alan Dingfelder, and which kind of helped me birth the idea formally as what we know now as Avalon.
Nice. Yeah, so that is one thing that I really liked about you wrote, even if it wasn't initially apparent, you wrote that mm, nervousness in your character. And I thought that
Mhm.
was like, it's like, okay, now I understand. He's just nervous. He is anxious about, being the center of attention and stuff. Because I mean, it, it's interesting. You never quite know what to say or do when especially when you're put on the spotlight.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's like, oh, yay, happy birthday. Just
Yeah, it's always kind of an awkward situation, and I think it definitely works perfectly in my eyes. Where I think Mason, the youngest brother, where they're about to bring the cake out and all that stuff in issue 1. Uh, Nobody wants to be in that situation. And then the way I think about it too is especially Mason. He's somebody who's very obviously dealing with some sort of anxiety disorder. And I slowly think I think slowly showcase that he's dealing with some sort of depression, kind of inner depression as well, and what that is and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So I just think, again, to your point, nobody wants to be put in that position where the whole crowd, the whole restaurant staring at you while you're getting this cake, and making it awkward. But trying to make that as relatable as possible for anybody reading this comic.
Yeah. Uh, so Pops is in here asking about, hey, and what happened to the mustache?
Um, that's a answer for another day.
Right. Oh man. So this, I mean, you set the scene, and already you get like, uh, oh boy, what's this dude isn't gonna last. Something's up. It's like, man,
Yeah.
it's like I don't have a good feeling about this, and it's very apparent in this scene. Like especially because they're talking about people that oh, just got bit, and you're like, wait, what? It's like, oh, this person that's coming in the bathroom, that's certainly gonna he's certainly gonna get bit, or it's just in there, right there. You jump right into it.
Yeah, and I think issue one was very interesting for Alan and I when we were writing it, and we were trying to figure out, like, not to jump ahead, but when we did our first rough draft script of this issue one, it was god awful. We purposefully saved that script because we were just trying to do way too much in a 24-page issue.
Hmm.
Uh, and we were literally about to produce it and have an artist do it before we got Demetrius. Um, and almost got it out there, and we pulled it back. We're like, what do we have? This is not a good issue. And then retracked the issue. Fit now we rewrote it into what people see today.
Mm.
um, but it was very interesting overall to us, trying to world build as much as possible with not giving much away, really centering it around the family and the normal day life. And if it's from Andy and Miller's just normal day as a cop, and for what it seems to be just a routine welfare check, going to check on this old
Yeah.
lady, all the way to a birthday party for the youngest son's birthday. And just you go out to dinner for your birthday. Most families do. So trying to just really center this issue around the normal day life, that and make these characters feel very, very normal and relatable, and
Hmm.
then slowly build up that something's going on in the background, and then boom, at the end you kind of get like the reveal that what
Yeah.
kind of story this is if you didn't know going into it. But
Right. Yeah. That's definitely the case. I mean, I'm again, so I'm fresh to your work. I reached out and started talking to
mhm.
you with you about this, and it's like, so I'm just getting this. And it's like, oh wow, okay, I get that. Everything you were saying, like, checks right off. It's like, okay, yep, it's centered around a family, and then all of a sudden, boom, and
Yeah,
it's like, oh crap, like this is what's up.
yeah,
It's like,
not yeah, not
where's the next issue?
right into the zombie world and all that too. Yeah, I one of my favorite things that I've noticed over the time frame of dropping these issues out too is Demetrius and what he's able to kind of capture in each scene, each page, each panel. Obviously, you could tell there's a dramatic difference from issue one that you just showed on screen to issue two and so on. Demetrius kind of evolved his art after issue one, and tried this new style. He's kind of grabbed onto this new style that he's been working on from issue two on so far. I thought it was very, very unique and very, very interesting for a zombie comic overall. Um, and I think he just portrays a lot of these character emotions. He really intensifies the stories of what we're telling, and just really is that other half of that kind of glue to this whole journey that we're a part of right now too.
Hmm. Yeah, I dig that. Yeah, let's see if let's see. Is this all in the same? Let's see.
It should be, yeah, yeah. If it's not, then might have a little problem here.
Yeah, because let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Welfare. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's that. Because I was having issues on my phone, but thinking it's, oh yeah, this is just some fantastic work here. I need to make sure if it's still that it's still up on the screen, which I'm guessing it's not. Nope, of course it's not. All right, there we go. So yeah, I mean, especially when you start to get into this, and it's like there's those insane teeth. It's just like, ah,
Yeah,
it's just like, oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah, like what's going on here? No, and again, it just, you could kind of, that's issue one still, in the sense where it's like,
Hmm.
you could see that style that he was going for, and then when you jump into the issue two, like the intense and kind of gritty Todd McFarlane-esque kind of, art style that he's kind of evolved to in his own way. But one of the cool things about this issue here is Demetrius is currently working on remastering issue one here,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're actually in the process of doing a volume paperback volume one. And so with that being said, we are doing a remastered issue one of what you're seeing here, kind of the updated art style that he's kind of rolled with since issue two and so on. And that's what we're going to be portraying. And for people who are comic kind of collectors, we are not doing any more prints of issue one that you just saw prior to what you're showing now.
Hmm.
Once we get that remastered one done, because we're just going to proceed with the production of the remastered art style, and that's going to be our traditional issue one. And we're going to basically, once copies sell out of the original issue one art style, then we're not going to be reprinting or and selling them.
Oh wow, okay. I know, like Pops and things like that. They're very adamant about, oh, don't reprint this. I want,
Yeah, yeah. You want to keep it as little as possible,
yeah.
or at least if you get that first print,
Hmm.
no other reprint after that even matters, because then you hold that significance to the
Yeah,
first print.
yeah, for sure. I don't want to get too far into this or anything, but
Sure. Yeah. No, you're
this
good.
is amazing.
Yeah, and just some of those choices that he's kind of like come up with, a lot of these little panels that you're kind of running through too is really isn't showcased that much in the script format as well. A lot of this stuff is stuff that he's kind of just come up with in his head when he's reading the script and kind of dissecting what he thinks the overall page looks like.
Yeah.
Um, it just makes the pages feel that more alive and just off panel, off page. It just really feels like it's popping out the blood, the intense scene with the eyes and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So it just really, in my eyes, really immerses you into the work itself outside of just the story. It just, if you're just a fan of art, he does an amazing job of
Yeah.
showcasing the art.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like the black borders and things like that already. I think it just brings out, especially like there's a lot of those issues where it's like black, white, and red, and things
Mhm.
like that. Like for bigger, I almost want to say name brand, but that's not the word I'm looking for. Like the
Uh,
mainstream comics,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like like that's the word I'm looking for. And so yeah, it's just like so much more intense. Like, yeah, I feel like it really pops. The red really pops on the page. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, and I agree with you completely. That was kind of the original idea, just in general. Because being a zombie fan, I love the Walking Dead comics,
Hmm.
um, and I love the black and white. But to me personally, being a zombie fan itself, there's got to be the blood, there's got to be the gore,
Yeah.
and I think that was one of the things that were lacking. I mean, he has a stylistic choice, and he went with that. But I just think adding the blood just added such bigger impact to me. Reading the story on in a comic format like this, the black and white adds, and with this new art style too, it adds like that noirist kind of gritty style that I
Yes.
really enjoy, that really pops in this kind of genre that we're working with right now. um and again, like as his art progresses each issue, it just, all of it just seems so beautiful to me. And a
Hmm.
lot of people, I've heard people mention that Demetrius's blood almost just looks wet on paper, and it's kind of interesting. I didn't really think of it like that until somebody said it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good point," and all that. But he just does a really good
Yeah.
job. We're really happy to have him, and have him be a part of this team. He really brings a light to Avalon that we couldn't capture
Yeah.
without.
Sure. I mean, this shot right here, this those eyes
Yeah.
and the hand just staring up. Oh, that's such a good shot. Oh man, it's awesome. This is very cool. So how did the two of you guys meet?
Yeah.
You're an artist. You're Demetrius, you said?
Demetrius, yes.
Yeah.
So basically, it was months and months of just searching on Instagram and social media of like comic book artists, and just
Mhm.
continue to look and look and look. And after months go by, we ended up, in my opinion, striking gold with Demetrius. As I'm messaging very many artists. He was the only one that, as soon as I messaged him, I knew right away that he was going to be like our guy.
Yeah.
Because immediately he was very intrigued by the idea. He loved it. This is his first comic interior pages he's ever worked on. Um, he was very, ready to go, and he had, kind of had like a fire lit under him there, and just was excited for the opportunity, as were we.
Yeah.
And to have him be a part of it, seeing his art stuff when we were kind of going through his page, we were very excited to have him even respond to us,
Yeah.
and kind of keep this going. And now that we're 6 issues in, working on a remastered issue one, I couldn't have asked for a better kind of like person to do this with. I've heard some horror stories from people in the indie community that have trouble with artists, and it just, writers having trouble, and vice
Hmm.
versa. Just kind of going through different artists. It is what it is. It's life is life. People, find different projects and X, Y, and Z. But we've been
Yeah.
very fortunate to be on the same team for many years at this point, and I feel like we just know each other really, really well, and a lot of our interaction is through social media, because he lives in Greece. So,
Oh,
so it's over chat basically. We'll have
yeah.
every like other month or so, we'll do like a Discord chat, and we'll kind of talk and all that. So, but everything, I couldn't ask for a better partner in this whole journey than Demetrius.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so is he speak English fluently?
Yeah, very well. Honestly, he
Okay.
probably speaks better than I do.
That's fair.
He does a really good job. It's kind of shocking to me how fluent it was. I remember asking him like a while back ago, is it comic or common for you to speak English? Like, is it a common language in Greece? And he's like, no, he just speaks it. I'm like, that's crazy. So it's
Oh,
just
that's cool.
he's a lot of tricks under his sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, so I've worked with other artists on different issues and stuff like that, but uh, I found that there's a language barrier occasionally that sometimes gets in the way, and it doesn't seem like you have that issue with this, at least up front anyway.
No, yeah,
So that's great.
yeah, no real language barrier. I would say is more of like a cultural barrier in the beginning. I
Mhm.
feel like once he understood after like 2 issues in, like what I was really trying to grab or grasp in this, kind of story, I feel like he just got it, and it just like was like a snap of the fingers, and it like clicked with him, and and it just seemed like every issue after that, he just continued to just get better and better and better, and just some of these pages even know what I wanted without even realizing what I wanted kind of half the
Yeah.
time. It's just like he knew what kind of like I just said, like there's sometimes where I write the script out on a page, and then he'd add this thing after reading the script, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's perfect. He just tries all these things, and 99% of the time I love it, and it stays there. And I really can't even tell you one time where it hasn't. So unless it's really just a story kind of point, um, of where I wanted to really capture something that it wasn't there, but when he adds something, I would say 99.9% of the time
Yeah.
we're keeping it in there.
Nice. That's great. And I think that's probably good to
Hmm.
do occasionally, at least,
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
it's so far from the story. It's like, yeah, that's good enough. But
right. Yeah,
when
give
he's
him
like
that.
creating gold.
Yeah, you kind of give them that creative freedom, and I think that's kind of a
Yeah,
trick too, to kind of just not a trick, but just like a nice thing to have, like to work back and forth with each other,
yeah,
because if you don't have a good relationship with one another, then what are you doing? You know what I mean? So
hmm,
I think we've developed a really good relationship over the years we've been working together, and I hope to continue this kind of journey together. And as far as I know, he's here to stay for the long run. But
awesome.
I obviously understand that things kind of um, happen. People got to do things X, Y, and Z. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, he's here for the immediate, indefinite future so far. But we'll see what happens.
love this. So
Yeah, that's
good.
a really good page here.
Yeah,
Actually, a really good couple pages in this issue here. Very cool ripping of the neck there. And like even like the overshot in the next couple of that page too is really gruesome in this
Yeah.
zombie kind of world too. But
I don't want to get too far into it.
sure,
But
sure.
we're just grazing the pages, and I'm trying not to stay on them too long. So, but just to give everyone an idea of the really amazing work you guys have going on here, and yeah, I mean, this is definitely probably one of my favorites right here. It's just this sequence,
Yeah,
blam, blam.
yeah, just that those panel boxes too. Again, something that's not put in the script of what I was envisioning, but when it's on paper and he kind of comes up with this idea, it just like it works. It's cool. It's unique. When it's
Mm-hmm.
you got a panel within a panel shooting out of the panel. It's just like it's very interesting, and that's one of the really cool things that Demetrius kind of brings to the table outside of his excellent art style. Just these he tries these new things. He always wants to try new things and continue his craft and continue the progression of his art style and what he's able to bring and what he's and X, Y, and Z. And again, I just like the way it looked. It
Yeah, it's
pops to me.
great. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, geez. All right, so I I think we might have. No, I don't know. Is there anything more that you can tell about the story just from aside from the awesome art that we're talking about right now? Like, is there anything that you want to convey? Like, I know, sometimes people are like, okay, well, wait until this issue because this is going to be great and all this stuff. Anything
Yeah,
like
sure.
that?
So I mean, I guess just overall, one of the main things that we're trying to capture here, me being zombie fan, fanatic, is really capturing and articulating the mental health battles and the physical health battles that people deal with on a day-to-day basis here. And articulating that to anybody, your average Joes. And that's kind of what
Yeah,
our story is about, is like your average Joe. We're not having any hero journey. Or anything like that. We really want to articulate that as much as we can, following this family through all of this. And again, one of the big things that I kind of tell people, even when I'm at events, we want anybody to pick this comic up and be able to relate to something in this comic. A lot of these characters, a lot of these stories, and all that stuff are people I know, and I'm kind of or basket weaving them into this project that I'm working on as
mm,
well. I know these people. I know of these people. I've seen them in kind of real life kind of thing, and these are real problems that are kind of elevated a bit for storytelling purposes. Um, but we do have 6 issues out, which completed our season one. We're just calling it
yeah,
seasons because it's easier. One of the biggest things in this first season, I think, since now it's all out and people can kind of see where we're going and the separation from our project, from, The Walking Dead, from any other zombie comic or show or whatever it might be. You're definitely, in my eyes, going to be able to get the separation in these first 6 issues and see that we are a bit different here. Obviously, you're going to get that same genre. It's a zombie genre, so you're going to get similarities. However,
yeah.
we are narrowing our focus on not so much hero journeys. It's really just what does it look like to be an average Joe in a zombie apocalypse, um,
That is a
and so
very
on.
good question.
Yeah, I just think a lot of things. Again, Walking Dead always comes to mind. Like you got Rick Grimes, he's just a hero. He kind of gets through all the chaos. When you got like Dawn of the Dead, you got like these cool characters in a sense. I mean, you got other characters that are just average Joe, sure, but now, with that being said, what does it look like for people with mental health, people who take medicine, and people who are diabetic, people who have heart problems? What does all that look like on the grand scheme of things? I feel like a lot of these projects show it a bit, and then it
Hmm.
slowly fades into the abyss, and then you kind of never hear it get brought up again.
Yeah,
And that's kind of the center focus of our story, is that whole question that people always find themselves asking.
yeah. I feel like they touched on it in Walking Dead a little bit, like, oh no, where are we gonna get my medicine? Because I'm diabetic or whatever. And it's just like, well, that dude just must have straight died, or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
It's just real quick.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, yeah.
just a one-off line.
Yeah, right. And then I don't know what happened to that guy. He just had to have died. I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Like we really want to capture that emotional toll that yes, you're
Mm,
probably going to die. It's not just as simple as I need medicine. I can't get it. I'm dead.
yeah.
There's a whole story in between A to Z or whatever it is. You know what I mean? There instead of going just A to Z, I want to tell that whole story in between. I need my medicine. I can't get it. Now what? Now what's that whole journey look like? And then, I mean, are they probably going to die? Some characters, sure. Just like in
Yeah.
that sense. But I just think they're missing a huge story in the middle there that could be told, and that's kind of what we're doing. We're telling that middle story of I was going to say players, like I'm playing a game, but those
Yeah.
characters' journeys that are going through those kind of issues overall, uh, and what it looks like.
Yeah. I like it. So let me, where to go? Here's the, no. So, yeah, let me pull this up here real quick. Um, bum, bum, bum. Just a second.
There
Like I
you go.
said, it wouldn't be an issue if it wouldn't be an episode if it didn't riddled full of issues, like I was telling you earlier. So, all right, let me go here. There we are. Now, let's do this. Share screen. Oh, I have to stop this and then I'll share this. And so while you're not necessarily promoting anything right now, you do have your site that you want to promote,
Mhm.
and that's just this, right? Or did I mess it up? Oh wait, no, you
Nope.
don't see it because I haven't displayed it yet.
I was gonna say I don't see anything yet, but okay. So that's the link tree. If you hit the yes, yeah, that's it. That would be it right there. AvalonComic.com is basically what we're pushing. Um, we have a lot of stuff on there, kind of explaining what we do, what we're into. um, Explain a little bit of a background of Avalon, who the team is, the writers, the artists, the editors, and we add reviews and stuff. We also do have a newsletter section right on the front. If you do click it, we have the join a newsletter page, and
Yeah,
it's right there. You just put your email in. We're giving issue one PDF to you for free if you sign up, and then I believe it's like 10 or 15% off the store, as well as all you have to do is simply sign up for our newsletter. We kind of keep everybody up to date of what's going on, deals going on. We run deals very often. If they're PDF deals, if they're whole orders deals, we have shirts and all that stuff as well to kind of get out there for people to rep Avalon and get people knowing what it is, asking questions. We offer deals on clothes a lot as well. So it's just an easy way to kind of keep up to date with Avalon. And most importantly, we keep everybody updated on the sense of issues, what's
yeah,
going on in the production world right now. Uh, and yeah, that's basically what we're promoting right now. What after outside of that, we're working on a remastered issue one, and we're hoping early next year, or a couple months into next year, we're looking to do a Kickstarter for our volume one slash remastered issue one cover and interior. So that'll be kind of like a cool kind of thing, to
yeah,
have the volume out and have people kind of get it all in one kind of deal. That's a huge milestone for us on the team, and kind of getting all that out.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, it was easy as that. Dun, dun, dun. And then here's the clothing that you were talking about. Yeah, let's get some rep some Avalon here.
Yeah.
Long time no see.
Yeah, then we got, up on the top right bar there, we have our store, about, more, and, kind of reviews and everything, kind of going through all that. Uh, anywhere people want to kind of correlate and get going on it.
Yeah, yeah, for
Keep
sure.
up to date. Yep. We have all of our social media kind of attached to the website as well. Um, the reviews, like people of past, reviews of what people said. We're kind of working on a whole section of that as well. We got a bunch, of things we're working on as well. But yeah,
Am I still sharing the tab or not?
yeah, I see
Okay.
it. I see it up there. Yep.
It keeps telling me, "Hey, share this tab instead." It's like, no, I want to share the tab that I'm on right now.
Like, no, don't tell me what to do. Like, I won't tell you.
Right. Oh man, Avalon issue 2. So yeah, man. Uh, any are there any, let's see, potential for like covers or just on a t-shirt, like, because some of these covers are so good.
Yeah, like
I
if
can
you look
imagine that.
right there, right where your
There's the
cursor's
blind
at,
side. Yeah.
yep, there's the cover there. We kind of put the title of the cover above the cover itself, with the print.
Yeah.
Obviously we offer different sizes and colors as well, but that was one of the things though too, really appreciating the covers that Demetrius is able to showcase, and we kind of want to showcase them in that kind of manner as well. I really enjoy the covers, and myself, and I got myself a couple of the shirts there as well. The last kind of run that we did the issue 5 cover shirt, that I got myself, and I'm able to
Nice.
kind of rep that around. It was a nice one. Probably my favorite cover, which was issue 5.
Nice. That's awesome. Let me see. Okay, so that's awesome. Uh, so anything else that you want to talk about here? Any funny anecdotes or things that you've run into? I'm just thinking, like, what's the wildest thing that you've been, that's popped up as you're making this?
Man, nothing coming to mind. I just know one of the things that I usually say to people is not that I ever thought this was going to be easy, but it's definitely a lot harder than I anticipated, I guess, especially in the beginning stages of all this. I can't think of anything crazy overall. Um, Other than just the pure enjoyment of getting together with, the writing team and trying to figure out, how we want to tell a story. We kind of on a serious but joking mode, we'll write like a whole thing, and some of the quotes are serious quotes throughout, but we say them in joking ways, so it's kind of like an inside joke to us when we read some of these issues out. Like they're portrayed as jokes,
Mhm.
but inside jokes to us, we kind of just over exaggerate and make it like kind of like a corny 80s line to ourselves as well, and things like that. But overall, it's really just doing it and being together with the team, especially the writing group, because obviously I'm working with them a little bit more than the others, but
Yeah.
um, overall it's great. It's just a fun deal. If you're someone who likes or loves comics, or doesn't even love comics but has an idea, has a kind of like a vision that they want to get out, just do it. I've kind of told people in the past, just literally do it. That's all you got to do. It's a lot of fun, a lot of character building, a lot of learning kind of curves kind of come from all of this as well. It's just
Hmm.
it's a fun experience, all of it. I'm sure the podcasting for you as well is a fun experience. It just there's a lot of stuff that comes with it that you never thought you would kind of go through until you do something like what you're doing or what we're doing, and it's
Right.
X, Y, and Z. But a lot of cool stuff, getting out
Yeah,
of
I
your
mean,
comfort
I
zone a bit.
started as a writer and
Right.
just
Yeah.
like somehow ended up in this realm, in this just like I don't know. I don't know how I got here. I know this wasn't my intention, but
But we're here now. No, it's a
yeah.
fun thing. It's a fun ride to kind of be doing what we're doing, and just continue it. Continue this journey.
Yeah, nice. I can tell you, I don't know how many. I don't know if it's the same way with you, but when I sit down and start up to BS with my friends or whatever, we end up on some tangent, and it's like, wait, we were supposed to be doing this thing, and
Yeah.
then we ended up talking about this other thing. It's like, wait, we need to get back on track.
Yeah, we definitely have done that. Definitely have done that, and drinks may have been a part of that as well. But
Mm,
that's besides the point. But
yeah.
overall, it's always a great kind of journey. I think we're in a really good area right now with Avalon, where it's like we're not in a rush story wise. We're kind of we're a good amount of issues ahead writing wise to the point where we don't need to be like, oh, we need to pump. I have a pretty good.
How many issues are you ahead? Out of curiosity.
Um, Probably about 6 issues ahead, and I have it all bullet pointed. We're doing 6 issue seasons basically,
Hmm.
unless there's like a season that requires a two-part kind of part of the season, but um, we're pretty good with that. Drafting up the following season as well. I have a very very good understanding of the first 4 or 5 seasons of Avalon. Um, I have ideas of where I want to continue it because as of right now, it's kind of like an ongoing series in my head. Like I'm
Yeah.
just kind of going through chaos with the characters that we have met and their journey. And I know this is very long time away, and I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but I'm super excited for seasons 3 and 4.
Okay.
And it was really the sole reason, and I can kind of say it now because it's not really a spoiler, but it is a spoiler. Did I say it out? I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what issue it was. But basically, there's I'll just say it. Avalon. There's one of 3 reasons why Avalon is called Avalon,
Uh-huh.
and one of the reasons we kind of revealed that it's a hotel. I'm pretty sure I did it in issue 5 and 6, and I can't like think right now off the top of my head what issue um, it was revealed in, but going to the Avalon Hotel is one of the main reasons why we are doing this story in the first place.
Mm.
Um, and we have so many ideas of what that looks like and what we're going to be doing with it. And we're very excited for that, kind of thing to go. This whole season was a season builder or a series builder, getting
Yeah.
to know these characters, what we're doing. Season 2 is just kind of like a direction of okay, now we have this whole arc where we're learning these characters, what's going on. Now season 2 is like a direction. Season 3, you know what I mean? Now you can kind of fill
Yeah.
all the voids without me kind of saying it, but it is a lot of fun coming in those next couple seasons here. Not to diminish what we did with 1 or what we're
No, no,
doing with
no.
season 2, but a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah, no.
Getting ahead of
It's
myself.
always interesting. It's always interesting to learn about the things that stand out in your head, like because I know I can think of like two or three things in my stories that it's just like,
Mhm.
oh man, I can't wait until we're at this point and people will know what I'm talking about because they'll hopefully find it just as funny as I did or
Yeah.
just as awesome as I did, so it's interesting to hear from your perspective like, okay,
Mhm.
yeah, but no, I totally get that, and I know it's not to diminish anything or anything like that at all. So I totally get where you're coming from, but
Yeah.
because I think season one is great, and it's gonna be, I don't know, it's gonna be something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to think. Like, where's it gonna go next? So
Yeah, no, I think it's very important. I think I've been learning this over the course of writing this and figuring this whole journey out too. Is it's very important to also focus on simply that, the journey.
Hmm.
Why we have a goal and why we had this story in the first place, but not to completely disregard what we're doing now to get there and all that
Yeah,
stuff as well. I think we've definitely appreciated this whole, part of this journey, trying to kind of get Avalon where it is and continue to get people to, you know, see us, see our title, check us out, get on shows like yourself, meet new people like yourself, which has been an awesome experience so far. But there's a lot of it that goes with it, and we're definitely not forgetting this part of the journey,
yeah,
before we get to the, why we did it in the first place, I guess. But it's definitely cool.
yeah. I mean, there's probably things out there, other examples. Just the one example that keeps popping up in my head is the show Lost,
Mhm.
and it's like that had a great premise, and if they had stuck with that, and it could have, not ended the way it ended, but it just sort of careened off the tracks at one point. I'm not sure where the but
Yeah.
and see that's where like the studio execs were like, okay, we don't want this to be like Gilligan's Island. So you need to come up with, a set thing and where it's going to end. So they said, okay, yeah, it's going to end here. And it's just like, okay, but then they didn't answer questions, and then they're like, oh crap, I guess we need to answer questions. And
It's just
yeah,
chaotic,
yeah.
and yeah, no, it's very interesting, yeah, no, yeah, I don't know where I was going with it, but I definitely see it. It's one nice thing though too, at least with the indie community, in the sense of really, really loving the project that you're working on. I
Hmm.
could speak, only for myself in this kind of category right now, where it's like Avalon. It's like my baby. I've had this idea for over 10 years at this point, and it's kind of came to life a couple years ago as well, with Alan and I kind of collaborating and trying to figure out this whole journey. Um, but it's important to me to make sure that this story gets told in a really good way.
Hmm.
It's unique, and it's done to the best of its ability. If that's in writing, if that's in art, if that's in just simply being a good company, I guess, in the sense of having good experiences with people. So when people see Avalon, they associate it with good business kind of deal. Avalon's very important to me, and a lot, all of the whole team for that matter as well.
Hmm.
And um, I wouldn't like to think that we would ruin it or make it chaotic, like you were just saying with the lost thing as well.
Yeah,
I'd like to think that we would do our story a little justice and not
yeah, yeah, for
kind
sure.
of screw it up. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing is just to make sure you have a line in sight. Like it's just like
hmm
okay, and then make sure you don't disappoint along the way. And I think that's you know things that everyone can learn from. And
yeah.
in the example of Lost, I mean, not your
Yes.
story. In the example of Lost.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, no, I agree. One of the biggest things that I appreciate too is being able to learn from mistakes. And like I was talking about earlier in the show too, is like when we were about to publish our original issue 1 script, it was god awful. If anybody read issues 1 through 3 of Avalon right now, think about those 3 issues condensed into 24 pages. That's
Hmm.
how bad and chaotic our first issue was when we were going to push that out. We learned from that, and we're very fortunate that we pulled that away, because that would have been Avalon would have been done before it even started. But it was such a good eye opener and good learning curve for me personally, and just us as writers, to make that adjustment.
Hmm.
And it really gave good perspective on our where we're going and with this whole story in general. That we stretched out our original issue 1 into 3 issues. Now what
Hmm.
does that look like in the course of 5, 10, 15, 20, issues, and so on? How far are we able to stretch things without stretching them too far or
Yeah.
too little, and all that stuff too. I think that original issue 1's taught us a lot, and we're very fortunate to make sure it didn't get promote or produced,
Yeah.
and B, to actually learn from it and make good of that horrible what was almost a mistake.
Yeah. No, I get that. Because just, I mean, just from episode, the first issue alone, to imagine that there's like more involved in that span of 24 pages, like, whoa, I
Yeah,
mean, that would have been like a kick in the nuts,
constantly, and it's just
yeah.
like it would have been like so many like just like what the hell, what are we doing here, it would
Yeah,
have just been
you're
too
letting it breathe
much.
a little bit.
Yeah, and I appreciate that a lot of people say that though too, because that was definitely an approach that I was at least going for, is letting scenes breathe, letting uh opportunities like the dinner scenes, or
Hmm.
back and forth between Miller and Andy when they're kind of just friends. We're showing that they're simply friends,
Hmm.
and we're not rushing it. They might be having a pointless conversation, but if you've watched Quentin Tarantino, who I really love, and I love all of his projects, he does that very well as well. You'll be at a dinner scene, and it's just like, why are we watching this? But you're so grabbed by it. You're so like
Yeah.
into the conversation, but it's like it almost has nothing to do with the story, but it has everything to do with the story at the same sense. Like, and understanding these characters, and that was one of my favorite things that Quentin Tarantino does. And I
Like
like
the
to
whole
think that,
wallet scene with Sam Jackson.
yeah,
I mean, that
yes,
didn't,
yeah,
what impact did that have on the whole
y-
story in
yeah,
general? But that scene is what sticks out in your mind. It's just like, oh wow, yeah.
100%. And that's what I'm saying. So it's just like I take a little bit of inspiration from a lot of his things, and apply it into what we see best in our projects. And in my eyes, every time I think of like the Andy and Miller back and forth, I just immediately draw it to Quentin Tarantino with the just the stupid banter. You're talking about meatball
Hmm.
sliders. You're talking about, you could just tell they're friends, and I really appreciate all that stuff as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, meatball sliders. Yep.
Yeah, yeah, they'll make
Ah.
you shit.
Oh yeah, goodness. That was definitely funny. I oh man. I so okay, first of all, uh really loving the issue. And the issues, I should say. So really excited for you, and can't wait to hear what happens next in your story. So where can people find you, other than the website, like we just showed off? Are you coming up to any conventions or anything like that soon? Or
So currently, I'm ending the year off with a couple more conventions, unless something pops up. This upcoming weekend, I am doing my local Erie Comic Con, and then October, I'm doing the Erie Horror Fest. I do those events every year. It's in my hometown. You could find me on any social media platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you find one of them, almost all of them, if they allow it, we'll have our link tree connected to it. Then you can
Mhm.
just find us everywhere. We do advocate for people to go onto our website, sign up for the newsletter, stay up to date. We're giving you a free PDF issue. We're giving you 15% off your order just to sign up.
Yeah,
Hell, sign up and then unsubscribe. It's free stuff. Everybody just it's free stuff. We won't bother you that much, but we like to update people with what's going on. We're not like those big companies that just constantly are pumping AI generated
yeah,
email lists at you. We're just doing it for update purposes. But yeah, find us anywhere. Check us out. Follow us. Share us. Let people know about us. All the good stuff.
yeah. I dig it. Oh man, so again, there's something really going on with the mustache in the comments. They're asking about that.
Oh geez, I'm not even seeing it. Hang on, I gotta pull it up on the. Now I'm scared.
No, we just have, hey, the mustache, blah blah blah. What happened with the mustache? But it's just playful banter anyway.
Yeah,
But
no, yeah, no, 100%. They'll get an answer for the mustache soon. I
uh
forgot about it. I should have covered it up. I should have wore a mask. It wasn't exposed yet. We're exposing this right now.
yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, as far as things go, like I said, you can tune in wherever you are at on all the things. Do the thing subscribe, do all that stuff, that all the good things that indie people like us need. It's our lifeblood in essence. Like, without new people coming in, new blood, new invigorating things, it's like we're not gonna be able to grow. And so, I mean, you may like it, you may not like it, but the point is, come in, let me show you around, have fun. I mean, it's just a good time. But yes, so as far as me, stay tuned. At 9:00, we have It's Frickin' Figures with my buddy Zombie. So we'll be doing that, and then that's the old one. So I don't have the new one, and I forget the movies already. We have a couple movies that we're watching. We're watching the next one tomorrow. Wait, what day is it? Thursday night at 7. The Net is we're watching, and that's going to be for our movie review show on Friday. So that's my 2 cents. And like I said, wish you all the best of luck, Brandon, and really looking forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you having me on the show, and same goes for you.
All right. Well, let me see if I can actually figure out how to end this properly. Yeah. Let's do this. And no, I want to do this. Oh, maybe. Like I said, technical issues.
It's gotta happen.
It is. It really is. I think it got deleted out of here. Oh, wait. All right, we'll just do this. We'll see you later. Thunder Nerds Ho.
If you missed the live viewing of any Madness Entertainment Group production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. We'll see you next time on the Madness Entertainment